Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. We have Campaign Sunday, and this one comes with some super strong campaign features. And one of the most insane twists, in my opinion, which is called Fast Track. And yeah, to start this off, let me show you what those stamps and twists do. So, Mapmaker and Duplicate both have the Victory Fight twist, which just means that Duplicate and Mapmaker are also victory cards worth 1 VP. This is especially interesting because Mapmaker's reaction triggers whenever you have a victory card gained by either player. So, well, if more of them are gained, then you can play them for free essentially. And yeah, then there's Fast Track. As I said, this is insane. It says when you gain a duration or reserve card, set it aside and play it at the start of the next cleanup. So essentially, whenever you gain one of those duration or reserve cards, which we have 4 of, we have 3 duration cards, Research, Den of Sin, and Importer, and Duplicate as a reserve card, they get played the same turn you gain them. And with Den of Sin, this is not super impressive because you would be able to play it anyways as it is gained to your hand. But especially Importer, which upon playing at the start of the next turn, you gain a card costing up to 5. And especially Duplicate, which you can put on your tavern mat and then gain a card. When you gain a card costing up to 6, you can duplicate it. You may call it to gain a copy of that card. This will enable super fast stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Research also would be really good to immediately play it the turn you gain it, especially in the opening. But here, in addition to that, we have Peaceful Cult, which is an ally that says at the start of your buy phase, you may spend any number of favors to trash that many cards from your hand. And we start, due to Importer being the liaison, we start already with 5 favors, so we will get to trash out the starting estates essentially for free, which makes research not as good as it would be otherwise. I don't know. But yeah, this kingdom looks insane, and I have no idea how to play it, so we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, let's look at the cards so you can read through them. Let me hide my camera just a sec. There we go. Yeah, this is the kingdom. These are the kingdom cards. Let me scroll down to the landscapes and Madman also, which you can exchange the Hermit for. Now, yeah, let's talk about the different aspects here. Um, I think Fast Track changes a lot of things, a lot of the approach, and also um, yeah, mapmaker stuff needs consideration. And yeah, I don't even know where to start. We have 2 villages and Specialist and Aristocrat. We have plus buy, but only if you gain 4 aristocrats, so it's a bit convoluted if I see this correctly. As you need 4 aristocrats in play to get the plus buy. We have trashing and peaceful cold, so we'll get thin really quickly. Then maybe later research. Hermit doesn't look as good as it usually does because, um, well, you usually gain it both for the trashing estates and to exchange for madmen. But here you would need to pass up on buying any cards, and I think due to having trashed out the estates with Peaceful Cold very, very early, you will not really have issues hitting price points, and then you might rather want to buy a Den of Sin or whatever than pass up on your buy phase. I don't know. Um, yeah, essentially what we're going to want to be doing is gain a bunch of cards. Maybe Mapmaker will be our main draw, maybe Den of Sin, but Specialist is going to help with that a lot. And yeah, Crucible also doesn't look as great as it sometimes does because of the estates being trashed out immediately. Duplicate, I have no idea how this one will go with the duplicates because essentially you can really easily get a stack of duplicates on the mats by duplicating duplicates. And this might be really useful, but early on we might opt to go for importers more than duplicates. I don't know. Um, yeah, let's look at the kingdom plot, and then I'll discuss the openings and then just play because I have really no idea how this one will play out. And yeah, it's hard to analyze, to be honest. There's so much going on. Yeah, the kingdom plot looks insane. A lot of stuff, a lot of thinning, a lot of draw. The gains arguably could be higher, and the buys could also be a maybe. Maybe I should change that for Aristocrat because you need to gain 4 of them before you unlock their buys. But yeah, I don't know. Attack wise, Witch's Hut, I don't think it's gonna matter at all. Or it shouldn't. The game should be over before any significant cursing could take place. Defiled Shrine is also an interesting consideration for all VP. Might be important because whenever we gain any of the action cards, we put victory points onto the curse pile, and then when you buy or when you gain a curse in your buy phase, you take all of the victory points. Um, yeah, I don't know. That might be something to consider. But also duplicates and map makers are worth victory points now, so it might not be as important. Opening wise, I'm also not super sure on this, but I would recommend if you can just open double importer, put a specialist into your deck, or maybe even a Den of Sin on turn 2 to draw through. I'm not super sure on this. You are going to have 6 cards. Yeah, maybe Den of Sin is better than Specialist turn 2 actually, but I'm going to leave it here. Gain the card you gain with the importer. And yeah, and then the 5/2 looks worse because on turn 2 you don't have anything to do, and then the 2/5 looks incredibly bad because you cannot capitalize on the fast track already in the opening. You have to wait essentially until turn 3. I mean, you get to trash out 5 cards, but that's not worth super much really. Yeah, I don't know. So let's start this one. I'm sorry for not providing further insights, but I really don't know. I haven't checked this out yet, and just go for this importer. Yeah, I can play it first. Trash 2 cards. Now we will have 7 cards, so if we gain a Den of Sin here, yeah, I think we get the stuff going much faster, or much more reliable. Like this, we can set it aside instead of putting it into our hand, and buy the next importer. Now this importer sandwich is going to be important. Um, but we do see this again, and now we can trash out. Well, let's see how this goes. We can gain yet another Den of Sin and buy a specialist. I think that's the best course of action, and put this importer into play once again. Trash out this one, and yeah, get this specialist, right? We're going to have 8 cards, so we might bottom deck one of them, but still, I think this is now somewhat good. But we should also now start taking map makers, and we miss our importer, which is not great. I think this importer then wants to. This is really bad actually. Yeah, the specialist is not going to have any target. Phew, but what can you do? What can you do? It cannot play or gain the Den of Sin. Mm, yeah, let's just pick up another specialist and buy a map maker, which might trigger AI's map maker, but yeah, I don't know what to do about this, or just buy an importer. Hmm. Yeah, let's just buy another importer to keep the gain train going. But yeah, we should pick up a map maker now. And AI picks up this cursed shrine stuff. The defiled shrine stuff. You can gain a copy of that to play immediately. That way also the specialist doesn't stay in play, and buy a map maker, which unfortunately does trigger AI's map maker, but it chooses to not play it. Okay, and yeah, piles are lowering really quickly, wow. And we do need to be incredibly cognizant, but yeah, it's not looking all too great with that. And our map maker also bottom decks here. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we gain duplicates, which will trigger AI's map makers. What does it have in play? Two importer plays essentially. Um, yeah, this is awkward. We could, well, if we were to gain two importers and double play all of these importers, we could gain 6 duchies next turn. We could also do that using duplicates somehow, and duplicates are a bit more safe. Yeah, let's gain one more Den of Sin and another specialist, I guess, and gain copies of importers. Oops, and not the second specialist, but we play it again and gain another copy to put all of those into play. And now, I think we need to gain a duplicate and then hope that next turn if we can somehow catch up in points and the AI isn't able to finish this off. Yeah, but this is insanity. I don't know. Yeah, we get to play our map maker here. We get to pick up, I guess, importer should be correct, and a copper. Den of Sin is not going to do us any good. And AI, yeah, gains those specialists, which leaves 6 duchies in the pile. We have 5 duchy gains here. Let's see. And this is bad. I think, oh no, I think I needed to have picked up that um, last turn. I needed to have picked up the second copper. Yeah, we would have won here had I picked up the second copper instead of the importer. Wow, that was so stupid then. Um, yeah, let's just put a bunch of duplicates onto the mat. And AI again will pick up 2 more duchies next turn. Maybe 3. And then we are in a pretty bad position. Yeah, we'll be able to do this. Oh no, this is so bad. Yeah, fast track these. Fast track these. Pick up maybe a map maker as well. Maybe actually a research here and buy a curse and just research the Den of Sin at the end of this turn. Or even the specialist. I think I like this play. Do we want to gain a copy? No, we don't need to. And now we can double play these importers and buy yet, well, another map maker or another duplicate. Duplicates we cannot really both of them we cannot really buy just because it would lower piles too much. So let's just buy, I guess, an Aristocrat. Do we want to gain a copy here? How many duplicates are we going to have on the match? No, let's leave it there. And um, let's. No, actually, we need to buy this curse, I think, for the 2 victory points. This is really bad, but this is just um, how I didn't pay full attention on that turn, and yeah, already we were put in a bad position. Yeah, AI gets to duplicate duplicates. Oof. 4 duchies, that's 12 points. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Put those cards in hand. Um, Gain copies of those duchies. Um, let's not play this Mapmaker as we will need it for points. We need so decline this. I can play this. This game would end the next turn anyway, so we needed to gain those duchies there. Now let me think. The specialist will be able to um, gain another map maker. That would be 1 point, and we will be able to buy, well, let's decline here, I guess. Cannot gain a copy anymore, and yeah, how many, oh, how many importer gains do we have left? We have 3 left. So do we just, it doesn't matter whether we gain map makers or estates or whatever, we don't have any map makers left down there, so the specialist really needs to gain one. And we have 3 importer gains left, so that's 22 points. 1 from the map maker. I think we're just 1 short. No, I think we have 1 duplicate left on the mat, so we should just make it with 1 point ahead. But yeah, wow, this is crazy. Yeah, duplicate the map maker, decline, decline, gain more map maker, decline that, gain more map maker, decline that. And indeed, we just so make it. Wow, this is insanity. Pick up those and gain a copy and now buy the last map maker here and win with 25 points. And that was so close. Wow. 8 turns. Insane. Insane. Wow. The adrenaline is pumping for me. Uh, that, yeah. AI grabbed all of those duchies, but really, we could have won a turn earlier. Had I not been stupid. Had I... Man, had I... During AI's turn here, when I played this map maker, had I just taken those 2 coppers and not the importer and the copper, so then we would have won on turn 7. Insane, insane, insane. Yeah, fast track is nothing to be joking about. I have no idea whether what I did was correct. I think we were also tad unlucky with that first importer bottom decking, with the wasted specialist essentially. That one turn, I think it was turn 5 or so, or turn 4. Um, and yeah, AI played this rather okay, rather well, I'd say, stocking up on map makers and let's look at Zach again. And importers and specialists. It had way more specialists than we had, and those are really good cards here. But yeah, am I sure about the Den of Sin? I'm not super sure, but I like having more control about what you have in your hand each turn. And had that specialist and importer paired up, then we would have on turn 5, turn 4, what was it again? Let's see. I think, yeah, turn 4 it was. which was super sad, where we had to buy this importer. Um, yeah. No, no, no. Turn 5 it was. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. But anyways, I'm rambling. Yeah, yeah. Here we drew the copper and specialist. It was turn 4. Sorry. Had we seen specialist and importer turn 4, then life would have been good, and we would have gotten 2 importers into play that turn. One from the specialist gain and one from the other thing, and we would have been able to just buy another Den of Sin, get drawing much quicker, get more specialists much quicker, and we would have had a much easier time. But yeah, I also don't recommend not thinking the decision of playing with Mapmaker or what to do with the Mapmaker through like I did. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was insane, and I will try to, as always, catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.